The discussion today is why the engineer or the designer decided on using a Raft foundation for a three-story residential building in Lagos State. Why? The answer is based on the type of soil that you have in a particular location. In this case, we're talking about Lagos State. The soils in Lagos State are mostly very weak. They have a low bearing capacity, and also they are waterlogged. There are different types of Raft foundation. In this case, we're talking about beams integrated with floor slab on top. The slab is on top and the beam is below, or ground beam. The columns carry unequal loads. The columns also are spread apart. That is, there are large space between columns. The beams are laid perpendicular to each other, and all beams are interconnected with the floor slab. We are talking about the whole thing becomes like one structure, one foundation, if you will, huge foundation that's spread over the entire footprint. In between the beams, you have cavities or spaces that are filled with sand, sharp sand, and these sand are well compacted with maybe 2-ton rollers, and then topped off with hardcore or stone, 6 inches in size, before rebar or reinforcing steels are placed, and then concrete is poured that ties the whole thing together, the beam and the slab together. So what happens when an individual or a developer or an investor decide to build a house or construct a high-rise building or a story building without a structural engineer designing the foundation and other components of the house or the building? There have been several houses or buildings that collapsed in the past, and there are several reasons why they collapsed. And some of the reasons could be excessive settlement because of the poor foundation, because there was no structural plan provided. In most cases, the individual or the developer might decide to say all he needs is the architectural plan, and with that, and whoever the contractor is, he said the contractor will do everything. He will, without actually supervising the work. That's not a good idea. My best advice is, whoever wants to build a house, regardless whether it's a bungalow, 1-story, 2-story, 3-story, 4-story, especially in Lagos or anywhere, should make sure he has structural plans designed and stamped by a structural engineer to prevent having his building settled and collapse. It may not happen right away. Sometimes it takes time, years, but eventually it will collapse. As you can see from the pictures here on this case study, you have a 1-story building that collapsed in Lagos, 2-story building collapsed, 4-story building collapsed because of poor foundation. Even there's one that is under construction also collapsed. Completed once, as you can see from the picture, 2, 3, and 4-story buildings. Some of them even housing students, used as student quarters. Some of them by tenants, they collapse. Also, as you can see, a lot of people, many people lost their lives, killed or trapped in the building. As you can see, these are actual photos of the construction of a Raft foundation in Lagos State, Nigeria. The photos, you can see the compacting of sand fill with a 2-ton roller, well compacted for that matter. And also, you can see the placement of 6-inch hardcore and steel reinforcement for the floor slab of the Raft foundation, and also the casting of floor slab itself for the Raft foundation. Again, this is combination of ground beams and floor slab type of Raft foundation in this case. Thank you for watching.